All right, today we are diving into Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. Now, if you think finance books are just a bunch of dense charts and jargon you can't understand, you are in for a treat. We're about to unpack a pretty wild idea that getting good with money has way less to do with what you know and everything to do with how you act. Okay, so first things first, let's start by tearing down this huge wall that stops so many of us before we even get started. It's this super intimidating idea I like to call the money genius myth. So let me just ask you this straight up. Do you kind of believe deep down that you have to be some kind of math wizard to build wealth? A stock market genius? I mean, that's what we're always told, right? But the book we're talking about today just completely flips that whole idea on its head. And that brings us right to the heart of this book's whole argument. It's all about mindset over math. And this is the idea that just busts that old myth wide open. And what's so cool about it is that the main idea isn't some complicated high-level theory. Nope, it's actually surprisingly simple. It's something that absolutely everyone can get, no finance degree needed, I promise. And here it is, the whole thesis of the book, right here in one sentence. Doing well with money has more to do with behavior than intelligence. Just let that sink in for a second. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most disciplined. So here's the deal. Your own emotions are your biggest enemy. Housel says things like fear, greed, your own ego, and just plain old impatience. Those are the real reasons people fail with money. See, it's a human problem, not a math problem. Our brains are basically wired for short-term survival. Run from the tiger, grab the berries. Not for the kind of long-term, patient thinking that building wealth actually takes. Okay, so if it's all about how we act, then how do we, act right? Well, the book lays out what I'm calling 3 secrets to wealth. And these aren't some get-rich-quick hacks. They're really powerful shifts in how you think. So secret number 1 is all about redefining what you're even aiming for. You've got to understand the huge difference between being rich and being truly wealthy. And trust me, they are not the same thing. And mixing them up will send you way off course. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. See, being rich is usually what you can see. It's the high income, the flashy car, the big house. It's all about visible spending. But being wealthy, that's what you don't see. It's the money you haven't spent. It's the investments that give you freedom, control over your own time, and a feeling of safety. Real wealth, it's quiet. All right, secret number 2 is something that feels, well, almost impossible in the world we live in today. And it's this. Patience is your financial superpower. In a world of I want it now, the ability to just slow down and play the long game is what really makes all the difference. I mean, just look at this. This is the magic of compounding. In the first few years, it feels so slow, like nothing is happening. But if you just give it enough time, that patient, consistent investing suddenly leads to this explosive growth. It really just proves that old saying. It's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. And that brings us to our last and maybe most important secret. You have to know when to stop moving the goalposts. This is a huge psychological trap. The real danger isn't failing, it's succeeding, and then immediately deciding you need more and more and more forever. So this is the big question you have to ask yourself honestly. How much is enough? What's the number that would make you happy and feel safe so you can stop taking crazy risks? Figuring out your enough might be the single most important financial decision you ever make. So right about now, you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but I'm not a finance person. Is this book really for me? Well, let's talk about that, because the answer is a huge, resounding yes. What's so great about this book is how easy it is to get into. It completely avoids all that intimidating technical jargon. Instead, it just uses simple, clear language and tells these incredible real-life stories to get the points across. It feels less like a textbook and more like you're just talking with a really wise friend. And you can see right here who it's for. It's not for Wall Street experts. It's for beginners, for students and young pros, for anyone who just wants a healthier relationship with money and wants to build real long-term wealth. So let's bring it all home now, because at the end of the day, this book isn't just about a strategy to get rich. It's really a guide to something much, much more valuable. It's what the author calls the path to peace. And hey, it's not just me saying it. The impact of this book is widely recognized. Our source material gives it a stellar 4.5 out of 5, praising its, quote, essential and timeless wisdom. And this, right here, is the final takeaway. The entire point of learning all this stuff, of managing your behavior and being patient, it isn't just about the number in your bank account. The real goal is financial peace. So we'll just leave you with this one thought. The math wizard game, very few people can ever win that one. But the behavior game, the patience game, that's a game that anyone has the power to master. So the only question left is, are you playing a financial game you can actually win?